Hi, everybody. It's Mark Rushton of MarkRushtonGallery.com. It is Sunday, March 27th, 2022. And this video is called I Don't Know Anything About Webcams for Artists. I don't know anything about webcams for artists. So we're going to talk a little bit about webcams. And because I had the live art show on Friday night, I'm going to have another one on Tuesday. And the lighting was off for the painting. And it has been disturbing me ever since. And the whole time I'm sitting there thinking, do I just need a new webcam? Is that what I need? So I don't think that's what I need, but I'm going to talk through it in my typical way where I can overdo things. I'm going to show some pieces of art here. But first, as we do every single day with the paintings, the Instagram picture of the day, and that my Instagram at Mark Rushton. And so this was a little bit different here, and I'm going to try some different things on Sundays, I believe. Just getting into the groove here, because I wanted to not show any of my work, but show work that has inspired me over the years, either an artist or their work or whatever. Let me bring him up here. This is Philip Hershberger. He's an artist from Kansas. I think he lives in Topeka or somewhere around there, if I'm not mistaken. And he was he got his BFA kind of later than most people. He was in his mid 40s, got his MFA in his late 40s. And I think he's about 88 or 89 now. And, I saw a lot of his work. It was either in the gallery that I worked in or around the area. I can't remember exactly where I first saw his stuff. It was probably at the gallery that I was working at in art school, and just fell in love with it. I mean, this is him standing in front of a triptych or some of his paintings from a show probably about 13 years ago, and just a very sort of ethereal and hazy, and it was deeply inspirational to me in that vein. And he's got other stuff that is very Turner-esque with the light, just absolutely brilliant. And I was working when I was a poor art student, soon to be a poor art school dropout. The company that I worked for, I was working for a mutual fund company then, part-time, and they had done very well, and they built these buildings, and they were called well, now they're called American Century Investments. I got that wrong there. It was 20th Century back then, and then of course the 20th century ended, and they renamed it American Century. And they were a mutual fund company now, and now they do lots of different stuff. I worked for them for about 4 years, and wonderful company back in the day. Mr. Stowers, brilliant man. What can I say about him? He was the dude was already probably a billionaire by then, and he would come in after dinner when we had way too much work, and he would go work in the corner processing the lowliest stuff with the rest of us, because business was booming back then. And that was something to see. A guy in his 60s worth a lot of dough, and he just loved to do the work. Great guy, and really good company. And that's where my wife has her 401k stuff. We still there. But anyway, they would occasionally buy pieces of art back then. I don't know if they still do or not. I tried to look for, see whether or not they had maybe like an online gallery of the works that they'd acquired over the years. I couldn't seem to find anything, but you know how things are. And corporate art collections, like why keep them under lock and key? Why not show them off? But they had bought one of Philip Hershberger pieces back in the day, and had an opening and a reception and everything. I was like so proud of the company. I'm like, wow, not only did you buy a Philip Hershberger, who I like, but it was a really, really beautiful painting as I remember it. Anyway, I like to remember it fondly. So that was good. And corporations, when they got a little bit of extra money, why not buy artists? Why not buy local art? All that sort of stuff. Really appreciate that sort of thing. But loved his work, and I haven't seen anything new for a while. And the photos that are out there on Flickr, and they're not, they're about as good as this, right? which leads me over to the topic of the day here, and I'll switch things. I've kind of got a little bit different setup today. I'm trying to figure out the best situation for StreamYard and doing this live and being near the camera. And really this whole video is about the camera. And the problem that I had, we'll get off this page here, was that I was holding up art, and I don't know whether it was like a lighting issue or what, because it was the evening, so I didn't have any natural light coming in the window. Up here, up top, I've got a couple of 5000K LED bulbs. I've got a little 3000K in the corner, and then I have the white light from the gigantic display here, and a little bit more muted here on my main display. So that's all the light that's going on here, but my colors were off on the paintings. So what I want to do is I want to hold some big paintings up, even and later on look at and see how they look. So now this painting here, this is something that I reworked yesterday. It's a little further outside. What do you call it? The mainstream of Rushton, right? Try to get that so we don't get that glare there, because that plexiglass is on there. So this was originally an acrylic ink on synthetic paper painting, and it got damaged. It got damaged in transit, and it was open-faced. It didn't have the plexiglass on it. So I spent some time yesterday and kind of radically reworked it. And yeah, it's an 18 by 24. And I just want to see what the colors look like on the camera, kind of doing that. And so I mainly reworked it with some ink, some acrylic paint, and some watercolor acrylic as well. I guess that's the only kind of, is that the only kind of watercolor? Watercolor is acrylic, right? It's acrylic based. It would have to be. Otherwise it would be oil paste or something else. So anyway, just that's something that is open faced, or no, it's behind the plexiglass. So now this one here, this one is open faced. It is not behind plexiglass. And so really this is, and I'm looking at it in the webcam versus the, hold on here. No, why am I doing this? Why am I torturing myself with a little view here? There we go. So this is the larger view here. This looks like it really looks. And of course, because there's so much texture in the painting, the camera is having a difficult time refocusing. But honestly, yeah, that's pretty close. I think it's a matter of the lighting. I don't think it's my webcam. Let's bring this baby back here. What was I thinking? Oh, live problems. What do you expect here? I should take the plexiglass off before I show these off. But I'm throwing these around the room here. I'd be careful about damaging them and everything like that. I will take the plexiglass out of them next time. It's a bit of an effort, but there you go. So yeah, that looks. Just gonna have them over here. Yeah, that looks real life. I think it's a matter of the lighting. Are we back? Live technical issues there. So yeah, I think it's a matter of the lighting. I just need to have more lighting in here. I know everyone says, "Oh, you just get more lighting," but it's not that easy. Get the lighting and those are 5000K bulbs there. That's a 3000K bulb there. And I've got a ring light, but you know what? I don't like ring lights, because every time you have a ring light, there's always a ring somewhere. You see that either reflected in people's glasses or the displays or something like that. And it's just not my thing. Well, anyway, take a quick drink here. Let's shrink this down a little bit here and talk about the webcam that I do have currently now. Now, I was all prepared to get something else, which probably would have been problematic too. So I think really my main thing is finding different sources of light. Maybe get one of those flat LED light panels. That might be something that I might want to consider buying. I'll just try it with I'll try it with more lighting on Tuesday, and we'll just see how that goes. But or maybe I could do the live show early. I don't know. So I use a Logitech C920. I've had this for a number of years. It's the gold standard as far as HD 1080p webcams. They've been making them for years. They now have a C920S or whatever. You know, they have to iterate it a bit. But and then I downloaded some software and wanted to see if I could tweak the settings manually, and you sort of can, but then you sort of shouldn't. So I think mainly the main problem was lighting. And of course, I got the quick start guide, which of course is 104 pages, as you can see. Just like, are you kidding me? Oh, good. Some of it's in many different languages. How many different languages are we here? 12. And then already we're in function, and that's I think we're in German territory there. Das, I like it. It's starting to sound like a Kraftwerk soundtrack. So then I was kind of like, well, maybe I could go buy something, right? Maybe I could go buy something. So I thought, well, I'll go take a look out there at the local Best Buy, right? Because that's about it, unless you want to go to Wally Mart, or what else is there out there? Staples, right? So we're going to see what they have in the store there. And I've looked at these Logitech Mevos that are $399, and they sell a triple cam setup for about $1,000. And they're all this. I don't know. I kind of look at something like this, and all I can think is this is going to be nothing but problems. It may do very well. The quality may not be any better than the C920 that I have. It is tripod mountable. So if I wanted to put that on a tripod and then have the tripod on, make casters and roll it around. That's not for me right now. Anything that I'm going to be doing as far as the live art show, it's going to be right here for now. We're not gonna mess with the selfie stick and the moving around. Not yet. Down the road. Don't get ahead of yourself, right? What's all this sort of? Yeah, you control it with your phone. Yeah, I can just imagine all the things that could possibly screw up with that. You get your phone, you get your main computer, everything. What if the Wi-Fi goes down? I $400. That seems like fun. And then there were other things I was thinking, maybe I should be shooting in 4K, right? 4K. So there's this one here, $160. Yeah, with a noise canceling microphone. I've heard the microphones on these webcams, and they're no good. You have to have even a $15 USB headset like this. Sounds a million times better than any of those microphones on the webcams. They just sound terrible. They sound worse than AM radio. And so I was kind of like, I don't need 4K at this point in time. I just don't. I need to figure something out. And then there were other things. So there was this Elgato out here, and I had an Elgato device sometime in the past. I think it was about transferring over from, I think it was VHS to digital. Some of the old, when my kids were little, we recorded it all on VHS tape, and I think I used an Elgato device, and now they're into webcams. But this is not something that I need. Oh, it does 60 frames a second. What does that mean? I don't know, but we're gonna talk about that here in a second. And then there was also this one here, this Logitech StreamCam Plus. And what's the difference? I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit more than the 4K. Who knows? It's for content creation, right? And so then I'm looking around here, and you do the usual, and it's like, which webcam has the best picture quality? Our pick is the Logitech C920S. Pro HD. Well, I don't have the C920S. I have the C920. And so, you know, I was looking at that. And then of course, you know, you go into the reviews here, and the problem is that first of all, do I believe any of these reviews? Right? It's like what is it like? Lake Wobegon, where all the children are above average, right? It's like Metacritic. Every album is 7.5. Oh, really? What does that mean? Well, I don't know. Read the dissertation length music review. Oh, great. Gee, I'm not a total hipster that knows everything about every microscopic detail about these bands, so I will avoid that. But you go in here and it's just like, oh, it's the best little camera, and right? Video quality is great. What's that mean? Right? What's the look no further? If you're on a budget, look at, I set this up in a barbershop to record multiple angles. That's kind of cool, I guess. That's the Mevo. Did I do some? Yeah, as a 4K webcam goes, it's okay. And then there's the frame per second. It's like, does that matter? I don't know if that really matters, you know. It's like, I'm trying to find a good balance in the settings to make it a little less grainy. Again, that may be the lighting, who knows? And so I started reading through all these reviews here, and it just drove me nuts. It drove me nuts. So anyway, there's that. And then, of course, I think I talked about, let's get this going here. What am I on the right? You think here? So that, you know, I also have the Canon EOS Rebel T6. This is a DSLR that I bought a couple of years ago to photograph my paintings, and I spent a couple of evenings trying to download the software, configure it, get the camera recognized by the computer, and it was a total disaster, which leads me to believe that you should only buy, like, don't, and I've said this before in other videos, it just don't, it can't do everything, right? I'm giving up after a while, and I was kind of like, maybe I'll just buy a different webcam. But now I seem to think that everything is just with regard to the lighting, that my lighting was off the other night, and it drove me crazy. But anyway, I'll try some different things here with the lighting in the Tuesday show, and we'll see where we go from there. And we'll just see what happens there. Anyway, that's it for today. Big, long, rambling video. It's a little cold outside. It's sunny, but it's a little cold. But I think I'm going to go play a little disc golf. I think I'm going to. There's a course just like 5 minutes away from my house. There'll be hippies out there, and they will play very slow. I will just play around them, or just not play the holes that they're playing, because they take like all day to play 9 holes of disc golf. And it's just like, I'm not in a race, but you know, I'd kind of like to get this done in a couple hours, right? All right, that's it for today. Talk to you later.